Welcome to this brief introduction of AssetAccountant. AssetAccountant is cloud software that completely manages fixed asset depreciation calculations and journaling for both accounts and tax. What you're looking at here is the login screen. As soon as you've logged into AssetAccountant with your credentials, you're given a view of the number of registers that are in your account, the number of entities. If you're an accounting firm, you might have one, dozens or even hundreds of entities that you look after and the registers associated with those entities. If you're a corporate, you may only have one or a couple registers. Users, the option here, you can add as many users as you like. They may be advisors or fellow staff or anybody that you would like to have access to one or more registers in your account. Just going to now select this particular register. What you're looking at here is a rolled up view of a fixed asset register as of a point in time. On the left hand side is the asset groups. And in brackets to the right of each of those is the number of assets that exist in each of those groups. If I can draw your attention just to the top menu bar here, this is the company. Here's the asset register that you're in and the options that you have rights to see. We can toggle at any time, anywhere, whenever you're working in AssetAccountant between your tax and accounts view. I'll show you how important that is when we add an asset. And this is your period view. I'm looking at a full financial year for this example. We can toggle between a bespoke date range, current period, whatever you like, past, present or future. Low value pool, asset imports and journals, I'll come to those. Here we can import assets in bulk via CSV. We have other videos, if you haven't seen them already, that are on our website that show you how you can do that in as little as 60 seconds, even under. You can export any view into CSV. We know accountants love to download data and manipulate it. That is possible in any view throughout the entire, wherever you are in AssetAccountant. Reports. These are the current reports that we support. This is always growing. You can select between tax and accounts, and for any period, PDF or CSV. You'll notice up the top, we've got various options here. This is to search for assets. Even in the most complicated register with hundreds of thousands of assets, you can search for any asset that makes sense to you. In this example, let's just look for a server. We can see we've got 4 servers. And I'll just bring that to the collapsed view of the register and let us go over to here and add an asset. And my new asset code number, you can use whatever makes sense to you and your business. You can import numbering systems from your ERP. In this case, that is typical to a 0 register. You can add whatever description you like in here, and that will forever remain a feature or a detail to this asset. Let's call this a motor vehicle. Purchase cost of $100,000, and you'll note here we've got a purchase and a first use date. As soon as I select this, if you look over on the right hand side, let's go back in time too. Let's say we go back to August 2020 and we purchase a vehicle here. You'll notice on the right hand side we are invited to add our details for tax depreciation and for accounts depreciation. But before I do that, on the left hand side we've got various cost centers associated with this account. So I'm going to choose Melbourne, and for a custom field that, for a motor vehicle, you might have a VIN that you would like to record against the asset. Let's visit the right hand side again. Here's the method of depreciation that for an Australian register is supported according to the ATO rulings. AssetAccountant has realised that this asset may be applicable or is applicable for backing business accelerated depreciation. So if we chose that option, we've got a limited number of methods we can use. If you're still unsure, you can find, we've got a very handy lookup tool that interrogates the tax rulings by industry classification, in this case according to the ATO, and we can do a detailed search using various functionality. If it's for a car, I know I don't want hire cars and I know I don't want car parks. So let's bring back a filtered look, and cars, motor vehicles designed to carry fewer than 9 passengers. That's the one. We can double check with the tax rulings on the ATO website here. There's a link directly to it, but let us just select that depreciation method. In the notes for an asset, this is particularly nice for the auditors that might be watching this. We can add notes here, and that might give you reasons why you chose a particular effective life, rate, whatever you would like to attach to the asset. I'll go ahead and save that. And here is a view of, well, it's your fixed asset view. I'll just remind you that we're in the tax view. I'll toggle to accounts in a moment, but these are all the details that are now permanently attached to this asset. You'll see that AssetAccountant has automatically generated the cap limit that is applicable for that financial year. We've assigned the cost centre of Melbourne to this asset, and backing business investment is a pretty hefty deduction in the first year. So the written down value as of the 30th of the 6th, 21 is $23,000. If I now have a look at the accounts view for this asset, you'll see a much more conservative value of $78,000 that would be, and they're the depreciation numbers that get posted to the journal. Obviously a lot more conservative, and just shows in one example why it is so important to keep a tax and accounts book. At any point in time, you can reverse anything you've done, you can sell, you can write off any asset. We've got all sorts of options here, transferring between cost centres in this example, and the journals will be adjusted. We've got various options to reassess. We can transfer to the pool if that was appropriate. We can adjust, revalue, impair. We can also give a taxable use. For a motor vehicle, you might choose 85%, for example. So I'll just get out of this, and before I'll show you the low value pool just very quickly. So AssetAccountant gives you all sorts of reports that you could run up here, and we also show any eligible transfers that may be applicable to a pool, and it is as easy as that to transfer assets into a pool if they are eligible to do so. I'll just briefly show you the register settings. This is pools. I set the low value pool for this example. Small business pool is supported, as is software pool. These are the integrations that we currently support. There are other videos that show you those in detail and how we map classifications, and we're able to do single post journaling. Classifications is how you might like to break up. You might recall I chose Melbourne as the location for that asset we just created. You are able to add as many as you like, and when I show you the journal, in fact, let's do a journal now, that will show you how we can post those. We've previously posted 2 journals for this register. Let's create another one, and we'll do it for the current period. And here is an expanded view of the journal data. And you can see this is separated by the cost centre, Melbourne, Sydney. So for buildings, we've got a couple in Melbourne, a couple in Sydney, and the whole register is broken down into those for posting. As I said, that's an expanded view. We can collapse it. If we were integrated with Xero, for example, there would be an option to just click here and it will post the journal directly to Xero. There are videos on exactly that process. But for this example, I'm just going to post it to a CSV. Let's choose to add the purchase and disposal information, and a CSV has been generated for putting straight into your ERP or your general ledger. And that is an overview of AssetAccountant. We welcome you to set up a 14-day trial. If you would like a personal demonstration, please get in touch with us via the website, and we look forward to inviting you as an AssetAccountant user. Thank you.